Today, Operation Clean Out Water Holes. You can see I got these things set up in the middle of the woods. Stands sets right over here. Mock scrape right over here. This is one of my setups. I have 4 of these on my property. I did have 3, but when I added that south box blind, I tucked another one in behind the switchgrass. We'll go grab that one next. I find when I put in one of these new, the deer won't hardly drink out of it. I kept them clean like my swimming pool. And I started after the first one. This has been a 4-year, 3-year project, putting these things in different spots. But they like the water to be a little bit dirty. So I always chunk a bunch of dirt or leave the dirt in there afterwards. Put in this log, of course, so I don't find dead rats, squirrels, and coons in it. But all these leaves rotting in it, man, it's bad. I'll tell you how I know it's bad. Because my yellow lab that runs the traps with me gets down in these things, and I got to bathe him every single time if he gets overheated because it smells rough. So got the tractor right here. A lot of times I'll rake these out and just leave them over here, but the last couple of years I've actually just bucketed them out of the way because it's a big pile of rotting debris. I really just don't want it on this corridor right here. So I call it OCD, call it what you want, but I normally just scoop it and take it away. This is one of those deals where something I do every year. Temperatures are starting to rise, deer are starting to hit them. This water is black and I'm probably over halfway full of leaves. So I'm going to clean these out and hopefully give the deer a little better situation when the temperatures rise. I fill these up with the forks on my tractor, and I got a food grade like tote. I put water in those and keep them filled. I'm hoping I don't have to do that this year. We've had a bunch of rain, and for the sake of my corn plot, I'm hoping it keeps on raining. Pro tip, over on the eastern side of my property, I raked out a water moccasin one year out of one of these things, believe it or not. So I do not have on snake boots, so if a water moccasin comes out, you may see me scream like a girl and run out of here. But we're going to get to raking, cleaning this stuff out, and hauling it off, and cleaning up these water holes. Get this one done, 3 more to go. You can see just out of one 100-gallon water tote here that I've got buried in the ground, that is one, and it is stanky. So I don't know if the deer care or not, but obviously it affects how much water you can put in with all that debris in the bottom. So I clean mine out every year. Put the pole back in. You can see this pole has been here for 3 years. Got a little notch right there that sits on the lip. It is way waterlogged now, so no need for a rock. I just set that on the edge and stick that notch right there on the lip so it has nowhere to go. 1 down, 3 to go. Let's get to work. All right, we have arrived. Spot number 2. This is the water hole that I scraped the water moccasin out of, so obviously I'm a little bit nervous. This spot right here is really unique. Call it the fork stain, where the dozer was pushing out my corridors. Random fork rolled up, and I just happened to be behind it and saw it, so I stuck it in a tree. I got a lone wolf hanging over there, mock scrape, mineral site, camera, water hole, big food plot sits right over there. This is a very, very active area. The biggest buck of my life died right over there off this corridor. So I'm going to get this one cleaned out, and we'll move on to number 3. Let's go. about the same amount of debris out of this one. Like I said, I don't know if this makes a difference or not. Deer may not care. But if you've ever been creek wading, something we do around here, me and the boy, we hop in these creeks with our ultralights once it gets about July and really, really hot. Get up there about chest high and catch the bass. And you can walk along these creek bottoms, and when you start stepping through there, you see bubbles come up, and it has that, it's a terrible smell if you've not ever had it happen to you before. It kind of smells like sewer, but it's this stuff just decaying in here, putting off some sort of gas as it erodes and rots away. So I like to keep mine cleaned out. One, for the smell. Two, because during the hot summertime, you're filling these things up. If we run through a drought, that takes up a lot of space and a lot of water volume. So I get it out of there. So my water volume is strictly just water. So number 2 is down. On to number 3. Let's go. Number 3. This is a new water hole I put in last year. I don't expect a whole lot of debris because I got a hickory tree right here, a big pine tree hangs over it. I don't have the tractor parked here to rake the leaves in, if there are any, because this is my access through my beautiful 5 feet tall switchgrass, and I could not bring myself to drive through it. It's too pretty. So we're going to pull out whatever's in here and rake it over to the side. This is an addition. I didn't really need another water hole on this 50 acres, but I got a lot of deer that come through this way, and I installed that 360 blind over there, and it's like a 20-yard shot to a water hole. And it got a ton of action from young bucks last year. So something I had to do. Let's get it cleaned out. As I suspected, really no debris in this thing. So mental note, this is year 1. I probably don't need to walk through the woods and get chiggers all over me to clean this one out because it stays pretty clean. This thing right here is pretty exciting. I've got a stand that sits right over there, an old stand. I hunt sometimes if the wind's a little shifty. But I put up that 360 blind for a south wind. Got great access on the highline wire, a trail cut through there. Switchgrass blocks all this in. Got this all hinge cut back here. And this is all new. 360 blind's new. This is new as of last year. So kind of looking forward to early season and see what happens, because these bucks hammer these water holes early season and during the rut. And this spot right here is, this switchgrass is banging right now. So it's going to be really well hidden right here in this little hole. There's a hard trail that comes through right there. So if I get in early morning or of the evening right through there, I'll be pretty well screened off. Nothing can see me. Get a drink. Go out and hopefully munch on some corn that I have growing. Pray to God it survives. We are on to water hole number 4. Okay, recurring theme. Water hole, mock scrape, corridor, bedding, corridor, deer stand. This is the OG water hole. One of the 2 I put in with a shovel and a pickaxe. Since then, I learned, my good buddy Mark Beckham, shout out to Mark's Plumbing, I used his track hoe for the other 2. Way nicer, way easier. Takes 10 minutes versus 3 hours. So this is the last one of the day. We're going to get this thing cleaned up. And another check on the box of chores to do. Let's get to work. Water hole number 4, cleaned out. Guys, these things, if you don't have them on your place, get them on your place. This is the very, very, very first one I ever put in. I got a covert that sits right there, and early season, these things get hammered. I got really good access to this little lone wolf right here, and I couldn't tell you how many deer I've seen come in here before dark and hit these water holes on the way to the destination plot. This is the very southern end of my property. I got about 80 yards that way probably, and then the mountain starts. These bucks will come filtering through this corridor, hit this water hole, or the one over there on the east side is my main ones. Does use a lot of the other ones, but these two right here are deadly. So if you don't have them, get them. If you got them, clean them out. Thanks for watching.